Good evening, everyone. It's great to be back after such a long time. I just want to start off by saying that now that this is public record, I was on season 3 of Masterminds. So today is going to be the day when we're going to debrief the whole thing. It's great to catch up again, Brian. How's it been?
All right. No, it's been a long time. It's the first time I've seen you in a while. First time I've seen you since you went Hollywood. You're a minor celebrity, even though the mastermind would not let you speak.
Well, it would have been nice to chat with the host, but we're going to dive into that once everyone's in. Also, there's been a lot of talk about the Coachella lineup, but I can promise you, I'm bringing you an even better lineup. I'm bringing everyone an even better lineup here. So it should be very exciting. There's going to be a lot to discuss, and top that off with a Kahoot quiz with a bunch of masterminds questions from throughout the season. So we're going to see how everyone does. I mean, we who knows? We could have a potential contestant among us,
Yeah,
or maybe even a potential mastermind, right? So
absolutely. Will there be questions about Japanese breakfast?
Uh, none of the questions are for my episode for obvious reasons because everyone here has watched it, and I'm sure they can recall the answers to everything. So
No,
that makes
I'm one of the foremost experts on Japanese breakfast now.
exactly.
No, in all seriousness, when they asked you that question, you must have been very upset.
Yeah, I mean, one sort of a critical error under pressure, but I guess that was kind of to be expected. Like, if I were to think of the best way I can think of it is, an amateur golfer plays his first major event and he ends up missing the cut by one shot. I mean, I'd say it was a decent run. I mean, I'm able to shout out answers from my couch like a lot of times, but doing it like under the lights on TV, it's a totally different ball
Well,
game.
no, but even on your couch, you don't know Japanese breakfast.
I mean, yeah, I didn't know that one, but
Yeah,
there's one that I did. So
no, nobody does. I
yeah.
mean, to fly all the way to LA and they ask you about Japanese breakfast. But
Hmm.
the other questions, we'll talk about that
Hmm.
when we get to other people. The other thing I find interesting, no matter what anybody does, at the end of that first round, when they double the points, anybody can still hang around.
Yeah, I mean, the game can swing either way, and it's it really is anybody's game. I mean, there's a bit of similarity to Jeopardy, and there's also the risk element, and of course, it's not as forgiving. But with that being said, I think it's time to add in everyone else. So we have Jeremy and we have Ferg from our Diaries team, and I've got two more special guests. I know both these guys since seventh grade, and they watched the episode. They were among the first to watch it. They've been backing me along the way. Really appreciate it. So let's welcome Will and let's welcome Steven. So first of all, how have you guys been? Anyone can go first.
I've been great. I've been living up in Chico, up in NorCal. It's been beautiful weather up here lately. Can't complain. Started a business flying drones and everything. So just enjoying everything up there. And now watching you go Hollywood. I always thought I was getting a degree in videography, but here you are, living my dream. So happy for you.
Thanks a lot. How about you, Will? What's new at your end?
I'm living in LA now, so not too far from where you recorded the show. I'm in North Hollywood, and I work at a aviation company doing financial analysis for them.
Well, great to hear. And
yeah, it
go
was
ahead.
really cool to see you on the show.
All right, Jeremy, Ferg, how about you guys? How's everything been?
Man, it's been pretty good. I just been getting ready to get married later on this year, and other than that, just kind of been planning my days around various trivia games and opportunities. Hopefully to do something similar to you one day.
Ferg, what about you?
I've been doing pretty good, still doing school at Michigan State, and we're killing it.
So I want to start off by asking, what do you guys make of the game format? Like, I know some of you have watched more episodes than others, but what do you make of the game format? Anyone can take this question first.
Well, I feel like I want to go first on this one because I feel like I may have had more time to watch than some others. Um, I like the game. I think it's improved from its original because I don't know how many people know, but originally it was called Best Trivia Show Ever. And it was a little rough when it first began, but I think it's really found its groove. And when it was rebranded as Masterminds, I think it really started to have a better flow. I don't necessarily love. I think it could have a bit of rebalancing. Some of the early rounds, there's no reason that I should have gotten like 6 of 7 or no 5 of 7 at home. Like there, even at home, there's no reason I should have been able to do that because like then the next round comes up and I got like I don't think anything right. It feels like there could be some rebalancing of clues, but I think the format itself is good because it's reminiscent of a show like Jeopardy, but without just aping their entire concept.
I watch Jeopardy pretty much every day as much as I can, and that was my first time ever watching or even hearing of Masterminds. And I enjoyed the format for how fast paced it was, but I was not expecting how difficult those questions are on Jeopardy. You know, I'm usually pretty good about getting a lot of the questions right, or at least close if I know the category pretty well. With watching those Masterminds, I don't think I got more than half on any round, and yeah, the second round, I don't think I got a single one either.
So with all that being said, do we want to start off with my film day, or do we want to start off with the questions one by one? I'll take a question from anyone now.
So my question for you, Abai, is how did you go about preparing? What steps did you take to prepare for your contest?
Well, you know what? I've been watching Jeopardy like religiously almost every single day. It's kind of a routine thing with me and my family. But yeah, closer to my film date, I was watching a lot of Masterminds. I mean, I've watched this show for like on and off for about 2 years. So it's um, I was fascinated with the game format. Like it covers so many different subjects, but at the same time, I was aware of the the unforgiving format, and I was aware of what I had signed up for. So um, it was great to have the opportunity. But if I were to let's see, if I were to go back to when I actually filled that form, I was super bored. It was just a routine day, like getting back from work, and I was just about to start driving home, and then I saw this post on Instagram, and it says Masterminds is currently casting for season 3, and I was like, what the heck? I've watched the show. Why not give it a try? And then next thing I know, a week later, I get a text from the casting director saying, "Hey, we want to know more about you." So that's sort of where it all began.
I'm curious. Oh, sorry.
No,
I'm just curious about what was your not just your overall experience, but like to you, what was like the best part of your overall experience? Like what made that the experience for you?
Well, I have to say, when I got there, I was feeling very starstruck. Like if you look at the masterminds, if you look at Mark the Beast Lebet, he's been on the Chase both in the U.S. and the U.K. version, even in the Australian version. So that's him. And then Muffy Morocco, I believe she was on Millionaire, and she won. I want to say, was it 250,000? I don't exactly remember, but she's another trivia legend, and of course I've seen Ryan's run on Jeopardy. So just to be able to share a stage with them, that was unbelievable. And obviously my two competitors, I spoke with them plenty before we went on set, and we made pretty good friends. I mean, I did spot a lot of familiar faces. Not like people I met in person before, but people I've seen on Jeopardy. So there's that.
Were the celebrities everything you kind of thought they were going to be, or were they? Did you get to meet them that much, or?
Well, I didn't get to talk to them per se, but I did get to. I mean, I was in the same room as they were, so I know Muffy is always super excited. and of course the Beast is very he's a bit more on the serious side, but at the same time he is pretty witty, and Ryan Chaffee he was pretty entertaining as well.
That's exciting. I'm happy for you, man.
So the film day, the schedule was super hectic. So any questions about the film day?
Yeah. You told me a little bit about this. You were, I think, at a disadvantage. You had to fly down, get a hotel room for like 6 hours, wake up real early. I think your casting call is like 6 or 7 in the morning, and then they kept you there until 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah. So my tape day was August 18th, and it was and I had to be there at 6 a.m. So I really had no choice but to take a flight the previous day's afternoon. So I took a flight from San Jose to LA around I think 3 o'clock. Got there around 4:30. I Ubered to my hotel room. I had to fight the amazing LA traffic. Got there close to 6. I didn't even spend 12 hours in my hotel room, believe it or not. Not even 12 hours. And let's see. Yeah, my stay in the hotel room was super short. I only remember door dashing at Chipotle and watching a couple of Masterminds episodes on my phone, and I had to be up at like 4:30, and yeah, when I got up, I was like 10% awake. So, and I had to get an Uber to the studio. Luckily, I got there at 5:30, and it looked very lonely on the outside, but when I went inside, there was a lot going on there.
What time did you film though at?
So this was actually the last day of filming. So I believe they were trying to get 5 episodes in. I was a penultimate one, so I went around 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, because that's a tremendous disadvantage having to get there at 6 and then having you tape at 3. I mean, there's no way around that. I mean, you were at a disadvantage.
I mean a little bit, but then again, the 6 a.m. thing that was constant for everybody else. So I'm not too much of a what ifs person, but at the same time, I wouldn't say it did my situation any favors, to be
Right.
honest. Yeah.
No, I'm not just you, but I meant they got to do a better job for everybody. I mean, they can get you there at 6 and then make you wait all day.
Yeah, so I think Will and Steven will probably be able to relate to what I'm about to say next. So when I got there around 6, ultimately I kind of had to find my way. It's like a maze inside there. It's like there's a bunch of different studios, so much stuff going on, and yeah, when I finally found like the Masterminds filming place, it's kind of like I'd say like the small gym at high school, and it had a bunch of tables. That's where everyone's sort of confined to until it's their time to get on set.
Yeah, that's my point. You were in that room too long.
Well, we got a question from Josh Hill here. Did you have to get to the studio on your own? Yeah, I did pretty much everything on my own. So security getting onto the lot. Yeah, it was. Yeah, everything was. Oh, well, now I see a message from David saying security was pretty average, but yeah, I think when it came to finding my way, it wasn't that hard. I mean, there were lots of signs, and for reference, that's about the same place Jeopardy tapes at. So David's been sending a few questions and comments here. For those who aren't aware, he actually ended up winning the big prize. He won the 10 grand. And his episode was actually a few hours earlier than mine. So, yeah, and he previously was on Jeopardy too. So it was nice to meet him in person. I think he's a trivia whiz, obviously, and he did introduce me to this Jeopardy thing he runs on weekdays. So and I got a chance to take part in that. So that was amazing.
Were you able to watch him play, or were you still in the room?
No, so only if it's your
Oh.
turn to get on set. Yeah, you get on set, and then everyone else is in the waiting room.
Right. And one other question, I'll let somebody there speak. The one thing I watch it, and what bugged my dad and I was when the other guys give an answer, they pontificate. are they told to pontificate? I mean, you know what I'm talking about? Do they explain why the answer is correct or something like that?
I was kind of unaffected by that, to be honest. I mean, it's yeah. So when it comes to the masterminds, they're like the reason they're there is because they're great at what they do, and if they explain the answer, it's going to make good TV. So that's how I like to look at it.
Right. No, but my dad and I thought it made bad TV. It was boring.
Yeah, well, I thought it was very smart assy kind of.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe that too. But I meant it was just, I don't know. I mean, from them not allowing you to speak and them here. What's this say here?
Oh, so the other contestants aren't the audience? Well, that's not quite true. So when I was on deck, like when the producers told me, "Look, you're going to be next on set," there was this like on deck place. Think of it like a dark room, but you get to watch the current episode that's being filmed. So I sat there until that episode came to an end, and then it was my turn.
Right. And then all is there an audience?
I wouldn't say there was a live audience per se, but there were a lot of people filming like backstage.
No. So, but is there clapping? So the clapping's fake?
Um,
It must be.
yeah,
All right. Yeah, all right. Fake clapping. All right. I'll be quiet now for a few minutes and let some other people speak.
Sure. I think Steven has something on mind.
Yeah, I was just saying, welcome to Hollywood with the fake clapping.
But the drones are real, though, right?
Yes.
Will, you got any questions?
Yeah. So when the masters give the like fun facts after each question, do they like come in with that prepared, or do they have to like take breaks to do that?
Now, this isn't quite something I'm fully aware of, but I guess in some cases they kind of do know it off the top of their heads. I'd I'd be very surprised if they're using a teleprompter or whatever because they do have an unreal memory and knowledge base.
No, but I felt like Will. I mean, it seemed canned. I mean, they couldn't some just because they got it right, they couldn't know everything about it. It just seemed rehearsed.
You got another comment here. I hope they fed you. Yes. So there were lots of refreshments. It was very contestant friendly. So yeah, there was food and drinks. In fact, the first thing I did when I got there is I chugged the cold brew, the Kirkland cold brew. So at that point I was like I was telling myself, just whatever you do, just try to stay as awake as you can, because you may not be the first person like that could be called on set, and it obviously wasn't the case with me. So that's kind of how the refreshment situation was.
What brand of cold brew was that again, Obai?
Kirkland, so the Costco one. So most of the patter is actually spur of the moment. They really know that much. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so David knows. Okay.
I was
All
just
right.
hoping to get you a sponsor there.
Oh, well, yeah. Any other questions about the film day?
Did they give you anything to do while you were waiting the whole time, or did you just have to sit there watching?
Okay, so there actually was more or less a fair bit to do. So obviously, I did not have access to this bad boy, and let's see, there were some card games. So I did play with a few others, and the best part was just getting a chance to talk to other contestants. I mean, in situations like these, you come across a lot of interesting people, right? I mean, if you just take David as an example, I mean, like first couple of minutes, I started talking to him. I was already learning a lot, right? So I guess just socializing, and that was the best way to spend the time, really.
So they take your phone.
Well, I have to put, yeah. There was a place to put my phone, so I don't have access to it during the day, and obviously when my episode is done, then I can make a call or whatever.
I would hope. Yeah, I would hope they give you your phone back. That would be no, but that's no tally up. And why don't they want you to have your phone? They don't want you learning while you're there.
Well, that's part of it, but then like let's say somebody comes back and wins the game, and like I shouldn't like I don't think I'm allowed to like share that kind of information until their episode is done airing,
Okay, yeah,
which is why
but
I can't.
it's masterminds. No one
Mhm.
cares.
Well, I would say Masterminds is pretty reasonable viewership. I mean, um, I'm not the only game show enthusiast.
Right, but you'd have to be against them. Nobody on the street knows anything about masterminds.
hmm in fact, I had told another friend that I was going to be on Masterminds, and he was actually familiar with that show, and I
Okay,
was surprised because if I were to ask anyone about game shows, like the ones that come to mind, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Price is Right, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I mean, Masterminds is like further down the list, right?
right, yeah, it's way down the list. But
hmm
no, that's good. There's nothing. It's you had it's a good show. But I meant
hmm
nobody that's not watching the Game Show Network knows what
hmm
masterminds is.
Yeah. We got another question. Is Brooke as genuinely charming as she comes across on air? You know, she is a great host, I have to say, because for those of you who weren't aware, she hosted The Chase before Sarah Haynes started hosting it on ABC. And so when it comes to fast talking and going through questions rapid fire, she really does a tremendous job. I mean, we can tell from how she's done in Masterminds like across 3 seasons. So and yeah, as far as like keeping phones away, it's security. So they didn't want you sharing pictures of other contestants. So
All right, yeah,
yeah.
but now I know what David looks like.
Well, his episode already aired. Like it was a
I'm
week or
joking.
two
Oh, I
before, I
know, I
think.
get you.
Yeah.
No. They no, I guess so. No, they
hmm
want to just keep things under wraps. Fair
hmm
enough. Pretend like it's like 1977.
Exactly. Yeah. So now we can dive into my episode. So what did you make of most of the questions? I think anyone can take this question.
I thought a lot of them were like pretty obscure, especially the multiple choice ones. Like you'd have to just take an educated guess on most of them.
I mean, oh, yeah, go ahead, Stephen. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I definitely had to watch another episode just to see if the show was like naturally that hard or if that was just an unfortunate episode.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to like the questions, it's pretty much the luck of the draw. So um, I didn't get a whole lot of stuff that I knew per se, but I did the best I could to sort of guess around. Like if we look at the second question, no internet, no video, and no music are selling points for a computer designed for what people? Is it the elderly, the blind, or the Amish? Now, let's be honest. I had never heard that this was even a thing, but just based on the context clues, I felt okay. This could be for the Amish, and I ended up getting that one right. So
Yeah, no,
that was my thought process for much of the game.
right. But I mean, that's a fair question. There can be no thought process for a Japanese breakfast. That was bogus.
I knew
Well,
that one, but I don't know their music and I don't know anything about them.
What
And
was it?
the
I'm sorry,
only thing that I knew was the name,
yeah, what was
and
the
that's all
question,
I.
Jeremy? Yeah, you meant, let me give Jeremy his props. Jeremy, no, don't shrug your shoulders. Jeremy is the music master. I mean, he knows about the Beatles, he knows about the Rolling Stones, and I guess he also knows Japanese breakfast. So but no, what was the question, Abai? I mean, it was
yep, I actually have it up on my phone right now, so I can read it out. So, a bestseller for over a year called "Crying in H Mart" is a memoir of Michelle Zauner, lead singer of what alternative band? Is it Japanese breakfast, Turkish lunch, or Italian dinner?
yeah. I mean, so Jeremy, you knew the lady's name. How did you know that?
Well, I'd heard the band name Japanese Breakfast, and so I knew of those three options that had to be the right answer.
See,
But I think almost everyone missed that
right. No,
question.
so that's how Jeremy knew because he had heard of Japanese breakfast. You
Right.
flew all
I
the way
heard
to
of them,
yeah.
but I know nothing about them.
Yeah. No, I'd
But
be
that's how I am with trivia. I know a little bit about a lot.
yeah.
I wish I knew a lot about a little bit.
No, but I'm ready for any Japanese breakfast questions in the future. But I would be upset if I flew all the way to Los Angeles and they asked me about Japanese breakfast. The question about the Siberia, that was legit.
Oh, that was the let me see here. Oh, the roundworm one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I have this one up as well. So let's see.
Yeah,
More
well,
than
you used to go through them. Yeah.
yep. I mean, at this stage, we might as well just go through the whole thing in order, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's everyone's going to be on the same page. So first, Q1 was the phrase "steal my thunder" was originated when a stage play stole a failed playwright's what? A sound effect, music score, lead actress. So for me, it was between A and B, sound effect or music score. I went with music score because sound effect sounded a bit too obvious. That obviously didn't work out. So yeah, and then we went through the Amish one, and then oh yeah, next one was which of these was the first voice actor to receive on-screen credit for his work? Was it Walt Disney? Was it Mel Blanc? Or was it James Earl Jones? I had nothing there, so I just went with James Earl Jones. I was wrong. Yeah. Um, Next was the Russian scientist. So more than 40,000 years old. What creature did Russian scientists claim to have revived from the Siberian permafrost? So woolly mammoth, bullfrog, or roundworm. The funny thing was, not only did we get it wrong, the masterminds got it wrong too. So it was a no harm, no foul situation all across the board. Um, yeah, I went with woolly mammoth, but looking back at it, I picked the trap answer, and it's not something I knew off the top of my head. I mean, even if I was sitting here and watching the show, I wouldn't be shouting out the answer. Um, yeah, Q5 was custom of a man escorting a woman on his left arm was from medieval times when he needed his right arm free for what? Swordplay, horseback riding, or correspondence. I felt that one was pretty obvious. I went with swordplay. Yeah, so I think through the MC round, much of my approach was just take the question for what it is and come up with an educated guess. And if it clicks, nice. And if it doesn't, then just hope I can catch up in the next round. We went through the Japanese breakfast one, and then characterized by earthquakes and active volcanoes. The area known as the Ring of Fire surrounds what ocean? Is it Atlantic, Indian, or Pacific? I mean, good old geography question right in my area. It was Pacific, but that was easy. So I was wondering, Will and Steven, have either of you played HQ Trivia? Like,
No, I
Yeah.
have not.
I
haven't?
play.
Did you like sometimes play, or did you like play on a regular basis?
I played on a regular basis when it first came out.
Hmm. I was actually late to the party. In fact, I started playing like on a regular basis after when the pandemic hit. So March 2020 onwards until it's pretty much came to an end. So yeah, so I kind of had a feeling that the MC questions they were pretty uh, they were pretty obscure for the most part, and fortunate enough to get three right and stay in the hunt. I mean, so, a lot of folks are telling me it was a good run, but at the same time, I tend to think, well, those who know me well know that I am my own worst critic. So, by my own admission, I would say I was lucky enough to stay in contention for uh, most of round one and round two. We do have some questions here, and comments. I mean, that is trivia. Sometimes you sometimes get boned because there's so much to know, but that's what you get. I mean, yeah. I mean, I've made peace with that, right? So it's you don't always get what you want, and you got to make do with what you have. So, with that being said, yeah, can't expect to get everything right, and can't expect to know everything, obviously. So if we go to round two, were there any that you knew for sure? Just let's go around the room. Which ones did you know?
I don't even remember what the questions were.
It was your life. We don't remember.
Yeah.
Come
So
on.
yeah. Well, okay. We can go through these as well. It's only 5 questions. So until 2021, what German manufacturer of the Golf and Jetta made more sausages than cars? This one
Oh
I
yeah,
did know. This one I definitely knew. So that was
had to be
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I knew that one.
Hmm. The next one, this was my brief moment of fame. So it was the first female journalist allowed access to a pro sports team's locker room. Was there to report on what sport? Uh, yeah. So baseball. I wouldn't say I knew this one per se, but I felt NFL was a little too obvious, so I went with baseball, and that was what made it a three-way tie. But that was very momentary joy for me because yeah, the next one was who was the first former astronaut to successfully run for Congress. This was my big brain fart. So like on my couch, I would have said, yeah, it is John Glenn. What the heck? But
Yeah.
yeah, on there, it was. I second guessed myself there, and it yeah that's where I'd say I lost the game. So let's see, and yeah, originally written on a long single scroll of paper, what Jack Kerouac novel became an instant classic. I didn't. My literature knowledge is poor, so
On the road.
I think I guessed the Call of the Wild or something there. And let's see, I knew the John. Yeah, looking back at it, this that's the only question when I was a bit pissed off about, but otherwise it was I did what I could. Let's see. Was anyone else familiar with your answer choice for that one? I don't know. So Uh, yeah, I ended up picking Jake Garn, who was I think a Utah senator who was also in space, but yeah, that was obviously wrong. Lastly, seeing the Patagonia clothing logo, Mount Fitzroy straddles the border of Chile and what country? That was Argentina. That was an easy geography question, but everyone knew that one. So there's my long recap of both rounds. So
If you somehow, that was an easy question, but if you somehow got that right and one of the other two got it wrong, would you have advanced the Patagonia?
okay, so at that stage, I believe Drew was at 900, I was at 700, and Beth was at 1100. So I mean, yeah, if at least one of my competitors got it wrong, I would have forced it. I think I would have forced a tie,
Right.
or I'd have moved on. Yeah, if we look at the possible outcomes, but again, I'm not really too much into the what ifs. Like even if I did tie for second, there is a tiebreaker question, and that could be about God knows what. So uh, yep. So I just got to take it on the chin, I suppose.
Well, you got to go back so you can speak, so America will know you're not mute.
Yeah, very true. I felt like you were disadvantaged by your youth. I mean, a little bit, but yeah, the my competitors, they were it's all chosen at random. So who I face, and what they know, what they don't know, those are all total unknowns. And ultimately, I just tell myself, you got to be yourself. You got to focus on your game. Don't worry about what others do, because it's only going to mess with your concentration. So that was kind of my mindset and approach heading into the game.
And it was the guy with the angels, and then who was the other one? I can't remember.
I think Beth is a newspaper columnist.
The lady
So
Beth. Okay, I don't
yeah,
even remember. Okay, yeah, and they're probably in their 30s or 40s.
hmm. All right. Anyone got another question for me?
I just thought of one. When you lose, do they let you hang around, or you just walk off the set?
So I hung around for a very brief moment, and then I was escorted off the set by a couple of producers, and I went straight back into the on deck room to watch the remainder of the episode. So I saw how everything went. I saw the buzz around. I mean, I did know a handful from there, but for what it's worth. But and I saw the ultimate trivia challenge bonus round, and
Right.
then
Did you talk to the people afterwards?
yes, I did a little bit. So not only did I talk to my competitors, but I also talked to the people who were going to come on the next episode. So
Right.
that was and and one of the guys who was going to be on there. He tapped my shoulder, and he said chin up, champ. Those questions are pretty hard, and you did as well as you could. So good luck ahead. I mean, that was pretty nice. There were a lot of nice people. from the producers to the potential contestants. It was a blast. I mean, I don't think the producers get enough credit for handling everything the way they did. So they had to be there very early in the day, like even the tech support people, like who operate who deal with the computers, the screens, the lighting. I mean, if that doesn't work, then you can't have a show. I mean, you can't have a film day. So, yep, I think so. Massive props to them, and the producers like to get all the contestants together, call everyone on set. Uh, yeah, just deal with all the chaos that was on the final day. I mean, there was a super tight schedule. So,
That's a question. It's 22 minutes long. Is it about an hour? How long is the taping?
oh yeah, I haven't gone into that. So the taping, it does take longer. It takes around I think around 45 minutes because sometimes they may need to retape like one question or two questions if the first run doesn't look so good. Or and then if we go to the ultimate trivia challenge, you see four questions. Those aren't necessarily in order. They may be asked in a different order, uh, but they're played just to make good TV. Like like if it's like 1-0 and then 1-1 and then 1-2 and then 2-all, that
Oh,
would be nice to watch. So
so I see they switch the order around.
mhm.
That's
Only
fast.
the ultimate trivia challenge, the
Yeah,
bonus
okay.
round.
Yeah, that sounds like something like the NBA would do.
Mhm.
No, they don't.
Okay, we have a question from Minutes and Seconds. What snacks were backstage? Oh, okay. There's a lot of stuff. So there were. I obviously can't remember them all, but as far as refreshments are concerned, there was soda, there was water. I think there was juice as well. There were lots of bars, lots of chips, and of course there were Subway sandwiches for lunch. So it was all very convenient. Yeah. All right. Anything else about film day?
I got one. So, obviously, you had Ryan, you had Muffy, you had the Beast. If you could have changed out one mastermind for another, who would it have been?
Oh man. This is a good one. So I think it would have been cool to see Jonathan as a mastermind because I do play some chess and I know he's really good at it. So if at all I had the chance to even talk to him for a few minutes, I'd maybe talk to him about chess or something. Yeah.
Do you wish you'd been on the other season that had Ken?
No. It's I mean it's no offense intended, but yeah, I mean even if like in some alternate universe, if I had made it to the final round just to if just to face him in the ultimate trivia challenge, that would be a bit terrifying. Uh, but on the other hand, it would be cool to meet him in person in any case. So I'm hoping to get on Jeopardy and maybe the Chase. So whenever that comes, really.
No, but the positive of this is
Mhm.
you love trivia. And
Mhm.
you sit there for mom and dad, and you yell at the answers playing Jeopardy. You got to live your dream. I mean, to fly to LA, be on the set. I mean, this is something you'll always remember.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's my game show verse debut. I mean, I'm not gonna, even though the result wasn't what I hoped for. That really doesn't change anything as far as the experience was concerned. I mean, I got to see what it's like on the set of a game show. I got to take part in it. I got a chance to talk to a lot of good people. Went through the whole process and enjoyed my day. But it actually did get worse towards the end. So when I actually left, when I was going to Uber to the airport, um, my mom was texting me. Oh, so are you all done? Are you headed on your way back? So I had actually texted her that I was at the airport, even though there was like another 15-20 minutes to go at the airport, and it gets worse. My phone was on 2%. So Yeah, I was super desperate. I asked the Uber driver if he had a if he had a charger because I had an Android phone at the time. Now I have an iPhone, but he didn't. So I was like, just I was hoping somehow get me to the airport quickly, and I need to find a place to charge my phone. So ultimately, I made it to my return flight on time. Got home on time. Everything was good.
Did you get a consolation prize for your finish on the show, or
Uh,
what's their prize system like for
okay.
second
So
and third?
if you qualify, if you make it to the bonus round, you get 1 grand. That's your consolation prize, right? And if you end up winning, if you end up beating the mastermind in the final round, you get 10,000. But for the also rans, it's yeah, you just leave.
Did you grab a soggy Subway sandwich on your way out?
I had one for lunch. It was pretty filling. So I did take some candy with me, but other than that, it was
All right.
yeah, it is what
Even
it is.
Jeopardy gets $1,000 on the way out. Come on.
We got another one from Josh Hill. So on Jeopardy, they whisk away fast as well. I tried to shake everyone's hand, and there was one episode I didn't get a chance to because I had to retape the final Jeopardy reveal. Got it. Okay. And we got another one from David. So look me up next time you get the call. I'd love to help you. I super appreciate that offer. I will definitely take you up on it.
Super
And
nice.
this one's for David. If by any chance you end up in the Bay Area, we got to have lunch or something. Definitely.
It's like SAT prep. This guy David will have like quizzes for you to take.
Yep. If you think of me like I remember you calling me like an air traffic controller when it came to playing HQ. Like I had my phone, I had my laptop, I had my iPad, I had everything. That doesn't even compare. Trust me.
Okay, here's one that David can help you with. What is the name of Japanese Breakfast's second album?
I don't know that.
Of course you do. It's Soft Sounds from Another Planet.
When the masterminds share extra facts after an answer reveal, do they know all that stuff on the top of their heads, or does someone supply it for them to say? Well, I'm very certain that they do know it off the top of their heads. So it's sort of like if you look at the chase, and when both contestant and chaser lock in their answers, if either or both of them get it right, um, usually the chaser will give a little bit of background information about the right answer. So this isn't any different uh, compared to the chase with regards to that. Another one for minutes and seconds. The background music while they're asking questions is edited in afterwards, right? Or is the background music present live in the studio? Very good question. This is not something I am totally certain, but if I had to guess, it's probably done in the editing process. So, but I'm waiting for David to correct me in the comment section. All right.
This is also in terms of time. The multiple choice, you got your time. You
Mhm.
can get it. You can get that. You can just think about it, punch a button. The
Mhm.
fill in the blank, is that a little more pressure that you might run out of time?
Not gonna lie, there was more pressure. Like if it's like in the multiple choice, like even if you know nothing about the answer, you will still like feel compelled to press something before the time runs out.
Oh, and can you swap it out, or is it just the first thing you tap?
I don't believe there's answer changing there as far as I was well as far as
Right.
I know. So
Okay.
I just tap my answer and I just stick with it until time runs out.
And I know your personality. Like I watched the show when you knew the answer was wrong, you were not happy.
Yeah, I know you saw me shaking my head, and then I remained like super emotionless like throughout the show. Like there was only one time when I did like a double thumbs up or clapped a little bit, but I think anyone who watched it knows that I was more or less frozen. I was a bit nervous, like how I'm so freely talking about this here. I don't think I would have been able to do the same on set. So
Well, it wasn't allowed. They did not let you speak.
mhm. I mean, it would have been nice to talk to Brooke. I mean, she is awesome. I've watched like so many episodes of the Chains with her hosting. So yeah, let's see. Another one from David. If you had another shot, what would you do to prep on your next time? Um, okay, let me see. I guess I'd probably, cram in more past episodes. I'd maybe even well, now that I know you, I'd probably reach out to you for some kind of help. Let's see here. I also did watch a lot of Jeopardy. I did watch a handful of Millionaire episodes. I'm not sure to what extent that got me prepared, because there were a lot of obscure questions, as some of the rest of you can attest to. But I guess filling myself with more I guess more material, more random facts, that probably could have done me a better job. What game shows next on your hit list? So, Jeopardy and the Chase, obviously, but I saw Split Second getting renewed. It's going to be airing on Monday on GSN. Be sure to check that out. That looks pretty interesting. I saw a sample episode on YouTube, and uh, it is very tempting. So I'm considering trying out for that. All right, next question.
Well, actually, since you bring up the topic of Split Second, when you got on the show, was there any like contract stipulation that you couldn't go on like a GSN show or a different game show for a certain amount of time?
Oh wow. I don't know if this is I'm not completely certain, because I I did sign a couple of contracts, like about not disclosing anything, or things of that kind. But as I'm only going to wait for David to clarify this in the comment section, like in the next 30 seconds. But um, if I had to guess, I think it's like one game show appearance every other year. But that's like, yeah, I'm not totally certain there. So who's next?
I just want to know, has Will made it to his destination? He's been driving for a long time.
I'm here. I'm gonna get in my car and then drive. So,
Right. So you've had a chauffeur. You're like big time.
yeah, exactly.
All right. I see how you roll. Okay.
Hmm. I was gonna say, Masterminds. They're currently casting for the next season.
Oh, I filled out the application, took the quiz.
Hmm. So I think this would be a good time to sort of to dive into the Kahoot. So is everyone ready? Everyone ready to get started?
Bring it on.
Do it.
I'm always ready
All
to
right.
quiz.
How about before we do a buy, what is the prize?
Um,
That's not good. But what is the prize?
well, okay. 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 All right. I came up with something. So I'll send a link to the entry form for Masterminds. I mean, it's not. It's not.
Come on, I've already done that.
No, like for everyone else too.
Everyone else, I'm somebody.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, let me go through a couple of comments before I. Okay, let's see. Usually the contract doesn't tell you that you can't be on another game show, but each game show has a clause saying that you can't be on a year or on three or five other shows in 10 years. Yeah, this was something I was kind of aware of. I just didn't know the details. Some don't care. I know 25 words or less doesn't really have any limitations besides not on the show in the past 2 years. Well, it's pretty interesting to know. But yeah, now I think it's a good time to dive into 12 months after the air date, you are embargoed. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. So if I'm going to be on another GSN game show, the earliest you're going to see me is April 13th, 2024. Or okay, and let's see. So I think everyone should be ready for the Kahoot. So those of you who are going to play the Kahoot, the game pin, let me just share my screen here.
Do we do it on our phone or on our computer?
Whatever works, really.
Okay.
So 605-9374.
I see. I can take a photo of that.
Yep. Well, I can just put it in the chat. So
Okay, yeah.
59.
I'll play on my phone here.
Mhm.
How many questions am I?
20.
Oh
These
my
are
gosh.
all from. Okay.
Bye. I got to head on out, but good luck to everyone in your Kahoot.
Mhm.
Wish you the best.
I mean, you can
I'm
play
gonna do
along
it
too.
on my phone probably. I'm gonna try to. I
Okay.
wrote down the code though, but I gotta
Mhm.
get making dinner. So,
Well, you got any parting words before you dip?
good luck to everyone who goes on to masterminds. Good luck to you, Abai, in the future, and yeah, just good luck to everyone in this Kahoot also.
You know what, Stephen? It was great catching up with you. Big thanks for you to come for coming on this show. If this is your first time, I'm sure it won't be the last time. There'll be a lot more to catch up, a lot more to talk about. But yeah, enjoy your dinner. Take care, Stephen.
Thank you. See you all.
Good night.
All right. So I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 7 of us in. Let's see.
What if I finish behind Game Show Loser?
Wait, who? I wonder who is the game show loser.
That would be very.
Okay.
That'd be embarrassing.
All right, let's start. Here we go.
Wait, didn't you just cut Brian out?
Oh, what? Oh, wait, Brian, did you enter?
I'm in. Hold.
Oh, I thought it cut one.
All right. Well, I see how this works.
Wait, Brian, you're in, right? Have you entered?
I entered. Hold on a second. It says, I have my. This is what it says right now.
Mm-hmm.
Am I in?
Here, hang on.
Might have disconnected.
Okay, let's start with the first question. If it's yeah, it's. I think we should. All right, Q1. First spotted in the Canadian Arctic in 2006. A grizzly bear is a cross between a grizzly bear and a what? Is it a panther? Is it a polar bear? Or is it a panda? Okay, so it is a polar bear. So it's a polar and a grizzly bear. One thing I forgot to mention, it's a 20-second timer for all these questions instead of 15 because I'm feeling a bit nice for all of you. So yeah. So 7 if you got it right. Let's see what the leaderboard looks like. Okay, so it's looking pretty close early on. As we go to Q2, here we go. Q2, technically called foamed polystyrene, styrofoam is roughly 90% what? Is it benzene, is it polymers, or is it air? It is air, so it's that's why it's so light. It can get blown away by wind. Who got this one right? All right, so we have Will leading after 2 questions by around a little over 300 points. Well done. Let's go to Q3. What is the minimum annual rainfall necessary for an area to be considered a rainforest by the Rainforest Foundation? Is it 25 inches, is it 50 inches, or is it 75 inches? It is 75 inches. Only one person got that right. I wonder who it is. Ew, well done, Chi of Steel. As we go to Q4. In the MLB, which field position has had the most unassisted triple plays? Is it first baseman, is it shortstop, or is it the pitcher? Yeah, it is a shortstop. I don't. I think it would be a lot more difficult for the first baseman versus a shortstop. But yeah, shortstop is the correct answer. All right, so Chi is maintaining his lead of around 200, a little over 200 points. As we go to Q5, the ice cream with three layers of flavors, vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry, is named after a city in which country? Is it Italy? Is it France? Or is it Germany? It is. It's a Neapolitan ice cream, which is named after Naples, which is a city in Italy. Six of you got that right. Let's see who it is. Okay, it's tied at the top, but there's a small gap between second and third. But it's still very early on. We're only one-fourth in the competition. Let's go to Q6. The only two female artists who won 6 Grammys in one night are Beyonce and who? Is it Adele? Is it Taylor Swift? Or is it Billie Eilish? It is Adele. So I'd say Taylor Swift is a trap here. Who got it right? Ooh, Will is in the lead, but by 16 points. I mean, Will, we might see you on the show. In fact, you live like a stone's throw away from the place. I mean, if you
Yeah,
keep it up.
might have to send in an application.
I think he's driving there right now.
Alrighty, let's go to Q7. Olympic gold medals are comprised mostly of what metal? Is it aluminum, is it silver, or is it nickel? It is silver, so it's yeah. In fact, the only Olympic medal that is mostly silver is the silver medal. The gold medal is it's mostly silver, but it's just plated with gold. And yep. So this one was another stumper. Only two got it right. Who was it? Who got it right? All right. So I think this is Tiger or Tigef, I guess. I think it's Tiger. So
I think that's Josh Hill, maybe.
yep, Josh must be Josh Hill. Let's go to Q8. Vodka, cranberry juice, and grapefruit juice combine to form what oceanic sounding drink? Aquarius, sea breeze, or is it tidal wave? Yep, it is sea breeze. Six of you got it right. We're back to majority winning again. Okay. Leaderboard's looking rather interesting. But Will is continuing to stay strong at the top. Solid run so far. Let's go to Q9. According to one of its founders, YouTube was originally supposed to be what kind of site? Is it dating? Is it real estate? Or is it gaming? Yes, it is. It was actually supposed to be a dating site. This wasn't something I knew until I watched uh, until I watched that episode of Mastermind. So let's see. Yep, it is. Yeah. See here. Just curious. Will, did you know that answer?
That was a guess.
Well, sometimes it's better to be a little fortunate than good, right? Yeah, exactly. Approaching the halfway mark of this of the Mastermind's vault. Let's go to Q10. In 1973, the Oldsmobile Tornado was the first commercial vehicle with what feature? Is it the AM/FM radio, the airbag, or anti-lock brakes? It is the airbag. So yeah, another one that I didn't know. This was a pretty obscure one as well. But the yeah, AM/FM radio was definitely a trap there. Who got it? All right. Will has if I were to put it in golfing terms, he has an almost two-shot lead. Let's go to Q11. Because it contains a protein melting enzyme bromelain, what food dissolves your tongue as you eat it? Is it a pineapple, is it a jalapeno, or is it garlic? It is the pineapple. So, yeah, whenever we eat a pineapple, it's we can definitely feel that on our tongues. It is, yep, that's the right answer. All right, so Will is still up by two shots, round almost 1,200 points. Let's go to Q12. You stand a 1 out of 1,461 chance of being born on what date? Is it January 1st, February 29th, or July 4th? Yes, so it comes once in 4 years. I think 4 years is 1460 days. Add the one, you get 1461. So it is February 29th. Who got it right? Okay. Wow. Okay. So now Will has a three-shot lead, virtually three-shot lead. Almost up by, up by almost 2,100 points. Let's go to Q13. The young of which of the following creatures are called pups? Is it the ferret, is it the rabbit, or is it the shark? Yes, so the baby, whether you knew, this is an interesting fact, but the baby shark is called a pup.
Do, 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 do.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, that's narrowed down the gap a little bit, but it's still a pretty solid lead for Will at the moment. Let's go to Q14. What is the birthstone for the month of February? Is it garnet, is it the ruby, or is it the amethyst? It is the amethyst. It is the purple gemstone. Garnet is actually for January. This is one I better know, otherwise it would be a bit embarrassing. And ruby is for July.
I was also born in February, so
Hmm.
you know it helps.
Now it's Will. It's down to a one-shot lead. It's time to step it up. Let's see. We still have another six more to go. So when Robert Pattinson auditioned for the Batman 2022 film, he wore what other Batman actor's costume? Ben Affleck, George Clooney, or is it Christian Bale? It is George Clooney's. In fact, this one, I think this question was a triple stumper all around on that episode of Masterminds. So to see four people getting it right is a great sign. Let's see who got it right. Oh, okay. So it's a 9821 Chandler's, only trailing by 200 some points. Five more questions to go. Miami, New York, and Cyber were all spin-offs of which TV series? Is it CSI, is it NCIS, or is it Law and Order? It is CSI. And with that, Chandler is in the lead. Wow. So a lot has happened in these past five questions. There's still some more to go, so it's still anybody's game. On we go to Q17. Used to dilate blood vessels and lower blood pressure, ACE inhibitors are drugs that were initially made from what? Is it snake venom? Is it tree bark? Or is it mushrooms? It is snake venom. So yeah, it's in fact they've used snake venom I think to make antidotes as well. So who would have thought? And with that, Will takes the lead again. So and Jeremy's in the hunt as well, all within 500 points of the lead. So it's gonna head down to the wire. Tiger is not that far behind. As we go into Q18. Who titled his memoir Comedy Drama to show that he had a comedy career prior to Better Call Saul? Is it Bob Odenkirk? Is it Will Arnett? Or is it Johnny Galecki? It is Bob Odenkirk. So he was on Breaking Bad as well as Better Call Saul. Who got that right? Oh, Jeremy's now moves up to second place, only behind by around 550 points. 2 more questions to go. This could be anyone's game. So, penultimate question of this Masterminds Vault. Here we go. In 1935, Henry Sturgis Morgan and Harold Stanley, along with a few others, started a what? Is it a bookstore, an investment bank, or a bakery?
Oh.
Yep. So if you could tell by the surnames, it's Morgan Stanley. They started an investment bank. So who got that right? Well, it's going to be basically match point for Will. Get this one right, and you're our mastermind of the day. So last but never the least, this is the final question. It's for all the marbles. Q20. Today is April 16th. Tomorrow is April 17th. What is the correct term for April 18th? Is it aftermorrow? Is it overmorrow? Or is it postmorrow?
Unbelievable.
It is overmorrow. That is the it's a rarely used term, but that is the correct term for the day that is 2 days from today. Let's see who got this one right. Finishing in third place is Tiger with 10,701. Nice palindrome. Will is second, and winner is Jeremy.
Good job, Jeremy.
Well done to Jeremy. I think based on this, we know for a fact who are 2 potential future contestants or maybe even future masterminds might be. So, first of all, Jeremy, how does it feel to win this?
I was pretty nervous after that first about half of the questions because there were several that I totally blew that I knew. But I settled in and found my groove. And that last question, when I saw that, I was like, I have a chance here. Feels good.
And Will, considering you watched Masterminds only for the first time, you only watched one episode and then you watched my episode. How does it feel? Like you kept the lead for most of the game, but even though you finished second by only a little bit, what do you make of the quiz?
It's pretty fun. A little disappointed that I kind of choked there. I missed like 5 in a row, but pretty happy to be on the podium.
Yeah. So I think apart from like 2 or 3, which I had written, these were all plucked from previous episodes. So the overmoral one, that was the one that I think that one was that's been on a few different game shows, but this was. Yeah, it was nice to put this quiz together. In fact, I did all of this morning, and I did like a quick test run, and it's great to know that it worked out just fine.
To be fair to Will, I mean, he did all that in a vehicle. I mean, he basically owned the quiz for like 17 questions in a moving vehicle. So,
well, I'm parked now. So,
oh, I thought it was still moving. Never mind me, but still, my point is, props to Will over there.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Absolutely.
Wait, Jeremy, did you know the overmoral question? I'm wondering.
I did actually. I don't know why. I can't really explain why I knew it, but I wasn't an English major, but if I had to go back and do it all over again, I probably would have been. So I have sort of a fascination with language. And
another thing I tend to notice is a a lot of these masterminds questions, they have some sort of context clue, and if you aren't able to identify what that context clue is in 15 seconds, you're pretty much screwed. Yeah. Let's see here. Overmorrow was a blind guess. Clooney was also a guess for me. I think most of us were guessing, to be honest. Let's see. Yeah, it was. Yeah, this has been super fun. So, I guess I guess with regards to trying out, Will, what do you feel about your prospect? Like you know they're currently casting. They even have they even sent out a post on Instagram. So are you down?
Yeah, I'm down. They wouldn't even have to spend for a hotel room for me, so be good for them.
Mm-hmm. You know the fourth season. I don't know when I don't know when it's going to start airing. Maybe like maybe towards the end of the year. But if you but whenever you submit your entry form, be sure to let me know. I mean, I can give you the inside scoop on a lot of different things.
All right.
Well, I filled out the quiz, but if I get in, I'm going to send you because you're closer.
All right.
There's no way I'm spending a flight, a hotel. It's out of the question. So, no, the quiz was like 30 questions or something like that. It's pretty tough.
Yep. Let's see here. Just go through a couple of comments. Totally down for lunch. Yep, definitely. I'm looking forward to it whenever that may be. Let's see here. I think this was about the background music. I think they did play the music, but honestly, I was so zoned into the game, I'm not 100%. That's it. My gut tells me they do in post because they added a lot of think time out. Yeah, that's true because I don't know. See, even in like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, sometimes contestants take like several minutes to like think. I think there was a rumor when like one contestant took nearly half an hour to finally like come up with an answer. So that was pretty crazy. Let's see. I can share any past GSN episodes you want for anyone who wants to study. Will, you might want to take a note.
Sounds good.
Is that Chandler?
Yep, it is.
Oh, of course. Chandler's like the game show legend, man. He has a vault. He has like, yeah, if you need anything with game shows, Chandler's your go-to guy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And,
well,
Andy was on The Price is Right.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he was. I think he was called like towards the very end of the show, but yeah, just to be at like a contestant's row, that must have been surreal. So yeah, this has been a great show so far. I think we can go once around the room. Parting statements. We can start with let's start with Will. I mean, we haven't caught up in like absolute ages, and it's so nice to see, you know, a friend from I've known for 10 plus years back on the show, and just to be able to, you know, share the same chat room, talk for a lot, and just discuss my game show experience. It's been amazing. So
Actually, I thought so. Before Will speaks, Will, what was the bio like in 7th grade?
oh no.
Awesome. Everyone loved him. You know, he was always the smartest guy in class. So yeah, Vi's great.
Was he running around talking about country and western music?
That
No,
was more of a recent thing. That's more of a recent
Japanese
thing.
breakfast.
What was he? Oh, it was all Japanese breakfast. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. Good answer.
No. He said I brought a lot of fruit for breakfast. Like that was a thing that stayed like constant from like 7th grade all the way until I graduated high school. Like I used to bring like oranges, kiwis, whatever. So, and sometimes even grapes. It's crazy how I still remember that now.
Anyway, my parting statement is, you know, ever since I've known you, you've always been super into Jeopardy and trivia. So it's really cool to see you get this opportunity.
You know, I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on TV. I mean, based on how this quiz went, I think we all have a consensus that you're definitely capable of making it big on the big stage. So, I mean, if I wasn't able to get the work done, I'm sure a lot of people I know will be able to get it done. So, So that's what I got to say. Ferg, what about you?
Yeah, it was cool getting to see you on the show. Third member of the Diaries chat to end up on a game show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was awesome to see. We've been kind of anticipating this to come out for a little bit, so it was cool to finally see the episode. And from the sounds of it, we're 361 days away from you appearing on Split Second.
They're already airing episodes there, so I'm just gonna have to see if it gets renewed for another season, then just take it from there.
Well, you know what? I'll be booked and ready for the Split Second appearance if you have it.
Fingers crossed, right? I guess when it comes to game shows, I'm not always like holding my breath. I mean, this even simply getting a text back from a casting producer for the first time, that kind of blew me out of the water because I was like, I'll fill out the form, just keeping expectations low. If I get the call, then great. If not, then just got to wait for whatever opportunity comes next. Let's go to Jeremy.
Yeah, this was really fun. I was glad to get to catch up with everybody. I just continue to be amazed by you. Just so proud of you, man. We've been looking forward to this for a lot of months. I forgot when you first told me that you had been on the show. It had been a while after you had been on, of course, because you couldn't tell us at first. But man, it was so cool to see you up there, and you did a lot better than I could if I had been on the show. But hopefully one day I could be the 5th or 6th member of the Diaries chat to be on a show.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just so proud of you, and we love you, and just keep kicking ass, man.
Oh, okay. Hey, oh no, don't make me emotional. And Brian?
Jeremy's a tough guy to follow. No, I just simply this is great. I mean, you love game shows, you produce your own game shows on Instagram, and now you're on a game show, and you lived your dream, and it's just the start. And all you got to do next time, skip the hotel, just stay with Will. It's cheaper.
Yeah, I got
like just one night or whatever, right?
Oh, it might have changed Will's life. Will just be filling out all these applications, and he just has to zip over to the studio. I mean, it's too easy. I mean, for Will, it's free.
Yeah, true.
Well, maybe like not even half a gallon of gas. Yeah. So I think to conclude it, yeah, I will always be a fan of masterminds. I mean, the experience on the whole, I wouldn't change a thing, maybe apart from the result. I'm kidding, but yeah, it's crazy to think that it all happened and all of that happened in one day, and it was. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like even when I got called on set, I was like, "Is this really me? Am I really going to go on the set?" And next thing I know, I'm standing in front of my podium. In fact, one thing I forgot to share was they made me like try all my outfits to decide which one was best. So this purple polo that I'm wearing right now, that was one of them, and I had a blue button-down shirt. So they kind of said that looks better on you, and they noticed I had a blazer. And they were like, "You got to put that on as well." And then I was like, "Really?" They said, "Yeah, really." So. Yeah, I guess the process in itself it's very meticulous, but just the way it's organized, it's really amazing. So I guess with that being said, it was great to have everyone here, both and especially accommodate two old friends. I mean, that doesn't always it's not always that convenient, but just to get everyone together to discuss an experience, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been an absolute blast. Um, Thanks to everyone for coming. Really appreciate everyone's time. I know it's almost dinner time for some of you here. Sorry if I took too much of your time, but it's all for the better. And with that being said, take care, everyone. Thanks a lot.
All right, good night. Now, Ferg has to go watch the Timberwolves.
Not yet.